So you got an interview coming up. Now, online, you'll find a bunch of videos. These are the 10 questions they might ask. Say this type of video. This video is solely going to focus on how can you sell yourself. If you think about it, the logistics of an interview, right? If it was based just on skill, they'll just look at your resume and be like, hired or not hired, right? The interview is opportunity for you to sell yourself. This skill I learned from a recruiter. I currently work in finance, treasury. This recruiter helped me out realize a lot of things. Pointing out like you got the opportunity. They saw your resume, they want to interview you. Now is the time to sell yourself. But really, what does that mean? Aren't you already selling yourself with the resume? Yes and no. But now they want to get to know the person in that resume via interview. I've used this skill that I'm about to lay out for my last two jobs. And I currently just landed a big job currently in consulting. So I'm super excited about that. This way of how I interviewed and the way I basically asked questions to get the interviewer to help me out and get the job is how I got the job. Now, the thing to keep in mind whenever you're about to go in an interview is maybe they had 5 candidates, 10 candidates, 100 candidates that they saw the resume. They saw yours and they liked yours, so they already like you. With me, I tend to get a lot of anxiety, right? A lot of sleepless nights before the interview. I'm like, man, are they really gonna like me? One thing to ease your mind is to realize if they didn't like your resume, they wouldn't interview you. So if you got interview, you already got the deck slightly towards your favor because they're not gonna wanna waste time. The reason hiring managers are looking to hire somebody is they're probably already bombarded with a bunch of work and they need help. Now, one of the most important things starting off the interview that I had previously anxiety about because I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know what to do. The question, tell me about yourself. Do I tell the interviewer about when I was born or where I'm from? My current role, my past 3 roles, what I like to do in the weekend, what kind of car I drive, what's my favorite sports team? No. When they ask you, tell me about yourself, what you give them is 2 minutes max of a small snippet of your career. Now, if you have a remote interview, which most are kind of done nowadays, easy. You just have while you're in Zoom or Teams meeting, have your little script there and read it, right? 2 minutes max. And then what you ask is, based on my resume, what would you like me to focus on? So what that question is telling is making it more of a conversation, and you're asking the interviewer to help you out. Maybe they care about your experience 5 years ago. Maybe they saw one thing in your resume that sticks out that maybe happened 3 years ago, last year. Maybe they care about the college you went to. Possibilities are endless. You're not a mind reader, so you can just ask them, what would you like me to focus on? You turn it back to them, and then they tell you, yes, please focus on this experience exactly right here. Okay, and now you lay it down. Because if you just start blabbing away, it's not going to be a good conversation for them. I can show you a little snippet of what I used, my 2-minute pitch. I'm a certified treasury professional. I have 8 years of experience in corporate treasury, exposure management, TMS implementation, which involves Reval, FXall, FIS, Bloomberg, Kariba. I have an obsession on automation and streamline of processes. In the interest of time, is there something specific in my resume that you like for me to focus on? There you go. Now the interviewer will reply to you and tell you exactly what to focus on. And then it becomes a conversation. Now you can talk all you want about that specific subject because that interview is asking for it. That question in itself, tell me what you want me to focus on my resume, is basically the golden nugget that basically your resume stuck out. So why not embrace more of it? Now the second tip that I have to share that helped me get my last 2 jobs is the outro of the interview. You only have a small amount of time. Some interviews are 30 minutes, some are 45, some are an hour and a half, depending what. So if it's a 30-minute interview, I would wait till maybe the 5 minutes left. So make sure to keep track of your time. If it's an hour, I would wait the last 10 minutes, hour and a half, last 15. So leaning towards the end of the interview, you want to ask if there's any doubts about hiring you. Now, whenever you just pitch that way, it kind of feels icky, kind of feels weird, right? Are they really going to be honest with you? So how you ask it is, Mr. Interviewer, we've been having a conversation for about 50 minutes. Now, it's only human to have doubts since we barely know each other. I would like to spend the rest of this time talking about those doubts, if any, so I have a chance to clear them up. The way you pitch that question, it makes the interview just more calm, more like, okay, yeah, no, it is only human, right? I'll just go ahead and tell you what it is. It makes it okay for them to have doubts. And this is really good for you because now you have a chance to combat those doubts. On my previous interview, she was very surprised by my question because this is not a question that all the interviewees ask. The interviewer said, yeah, I'm actually kind of worried about your SQL skills. It seems like you don't have experience on that, and this job may have a little bit of SQL. So that's my doubt. I grabbed that question and I stated, like I mentioned earlier in this interview, I'm currently working on a license to be SQL certified. It's something that I'm really interested in, so it's not much big of a deal. Before, I've never had to use SQL. I looked at the job description and I saw that it was a requirement. So now, not only do I want to learn, but I'm gonna have the pleasure of actually using it for work. So there shouldn't be any doubts about that. Boom. And then sometimes you get, no, I actually don't have any doubt. Actually, everything's been covered. So again, this is all just to help you out. Move the deck in your favor. Ask these questions. These hiring managers go through a lot of interviews, and most people don't know how to interview. It just seems like a robotic conversation. So guys, with these tips, I guarantee you the interviewer will be stimulated with the interview. And I guarantee you that you would stand out because the way Sales 101, the one who's asking the question controls the conversation. But it should be more of a conversation. Instead of letting them just dictate the interview, you can nudge it your way as well. In the past, I used to just let them do what they must and then see and hope and pray that, oh my God, maybe they'll like me. No, you got to be forthcoming. You got to be actively pulling the conversation towards your benefit as well. Again, they're looking for a candidate. They need to hire somebody. They just need you to show them that you're the perfect candidate by asking them to help you get the job. Review. Tell me about yourself. Spend 2 minutes max on a short glimpse of your resume. What you currently do, what you've done in the past, what do you like doing about your job. 2 minutes max. Stop. Ask the interviewer, based on my resume, where would you like me to focus on? Second tip, wait 5 to 10 minutes before the end of the interview. Again, if it's a 30-minute interview, last 5 minutes. If it's an hour, last 10 minutes. Hour 30, last 15 minutes. You say this exact words. Now, we've only known each other for X amount of time. It's only human nature to have doubts due to us knowing each other for so little. What are some doubts that you have about hiring me? Let them talk, if there's any, and you formulate a conversation to clear up those doubts. Remember, lean in with the interview. They already like you. They just want to confirm that they like you. Sales 101, sell yourself by asking questions. Make it easy on yourself. Thank you for your time. I wish you the best on this interview. Good luck.